Today, Rinpoche gave a very clear explanation of how the six perfections provide the gateway to enlightenment and the best summary of all of the bodhisattva deeds and practices. Sumbalasum. Galalabi Shidang. Okay.
Shindu the Shanchu Sembi Labana do Shindu ki Shansenji Lanji Netada Dubi Don Chembos. What about Jujana?
Lessa. Okay, so once again, we're looking at Lama Tsongkhapa's great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment, specifically the section in training the mind, the stage of the path for beings of great capacity. And then specifically, that section, we're dealing with the bodhisattva vows and so forth. So that's the general section we're in. So if you, around page 102 is where 103, we can look. We are going to start at it's number 3, how to train after taking the vows. Is there a way, do we need it that loud? My voice is plenty loud for the room, as long as it'll pick it up on the mic.
What's happening?
I see. Okay, it's perfect.
When they put the speaker together, they made it too loud.
I see.
The word is perfect.
I see. Okay. Okay, so category number 3, so in Tibetan we're on page 357, English page 103, how to train after taking the vows. So there are 3 categories: what the precepts are based upon, how all the precepts are included in the 6 perfections, and the process of learning the 6 perfections. So these are the 3 categories. So what the precepts are based on. So there are limitless, clear categorizations. But if you arrange the bodhisattva precepts by type, you can include them all within the 6 perfections. The 6 perfections are thus the great condensation of all the key points of the bodhisattva path. The 4 ways to gather disciples: generosity, pleasant speech, working aims, and consistent behavior. This, in the parentheses, is not in the Tibetan, just so everyone knows that. That's an addition, commentary. Are also included within these 6 perfections as follows. Rinpoche, chu kabar kason.
Doaji Asadro, Raju Meju Passion True, Jenju Meji do Mobuje. Rangu Meji the Jimba Tudin Zoba Tundu Santin Shero Toje.
Lessa.
Dina Legena, Susu Jude Meungres.
Lessa.
That Jengi Ju Meji Karasana Doaje. Doaje, and the Jimba J. Baje, the ne don't shoot don't use
Less so.
What the doage the doage. Doage, doage, and she do not do so. Doage and she do not do the Jimba do and Halas, doage and the Jimba de, and the Jimba non do no, she do tombo. Jimba non do le labores.
Less so.
Jimbandu and Halas.
Less so.
Si Hembane, ne Shidule, Sante Dujala, Domba is Si Hembase, Dujala Shidu choose on Batiste, and the Sid Hembo, Si Meneba than Dream. Si Dujala, Domba is Si Hembiguna, Shidu Ma, Soya. What the Hembamos, the rest. Tunsheba ne dambi dena ne jen kobalas shidu de ne duje jenda shidu kobala tambo suju shidu nyalen che wures suju nyalen mayena nyalen majena ane jen shidu ko kale kabres Tunsheba ne dambi dena shidu ro da jen la ko jen kueba la, jen kueba in las, dure jen da shindu lu kueba. Shindu lu kueba. Ne, tuen ba ne, rangi jang. Dure jen da shindu lu kueba la, susu, shindu nyalen je ures. Susu nyalen ma jena, jen da kue tu ma res. Dure dan, drawa, ruba yimbi shiros.
Okay.
Ya, o deba ji dure.
Tuche. So it says that there are limitless clear categorizations, but if you arrange the bodhisattva precepts by type, you can include them all within the six perfections. So it's saying that all the activities of the bodhisattva precepts can be summarized into the six perfections. So it's saying that the six perfections are really a summary of the bodhisattva path. Or the key points are just a summary of the pith of the bodhisattva path. And it says, so when one works on these six perfections, then he or she is a qualified person to then help others to learn them and practice them, etc. And so it says the 4 ways to gather disciples: generosity, pleasant speak, working at aims, and consistency of behavior are included within these 6 perfections as follows. So here's an example of another subject within the Great Vehicle Path called the 4 ways of gathering disciples. So this is how a teacher basically acts and reacts with students. And so it's showing how the 6 perfections are even included within these 4 acts of gathering disciples. Generosity, pleasant speech, working at the aims, and consistency of behavior. So then it begins to explain it. Are also included within these 6 perfections as follows. That generosity is included is obvious. Pleasant speech is giving instruction to disciples, taking the 6 perfections as the point of departure, working at the aims. Okay, so this is connected. Generosity, pleasant speech is giving instructions to disciples, taking the 6 perfections as the point of departure. So that's the explanation, the 6 perfections being the basis. And then working at the aims is establishing others in the aims of these instructions. But in order to establish someone else in the aims of the instructions, one has to practice those instructions, him or herself. So that's why it says, and consistency of behavior is practicing as the disciple does. So those things that the teacher is asking of the student in terms of the practices, the teacher also has to follow in order to be a relevant or a qualified person to guide that student. So in order for a teacher to be qualified to guide the student in these spiritual topics, he or she must train in them him or herself. It can't, this is the point. So this is how one would utilize the 6 perfections as a starting point in terms of the 4 ways of gathering disciples. These are, generosity is clear because it's one of the 6 perfections. So when we look at what the 6 perfections are, we have generosity, ethics, patience, effort, concentration, and wisdom. So these are the 6 perfections. So it says that generosity is included is obvious. So generosity is the first of the 4 ways of gathering disciples. It's obvious because generosity is one of the 6 perfections. So, and then the other 3 are explained in the context of the 6 perfections. So the pleasant speech, pleasantly speaking of the 6 perfections, working at the aims of the disciples are the same as one's own aims, and that is achieved through the practice of the 6 perfections. So it shows how these 6 perfections really encompass all the key points of the Bodhisattva path, and then gives an example of how that is. Diksung Rinpoche. The Yanju Surlang Inji Chi Guna? Oh, okay, Tuche. So it's just like if you wanted to teach someone else English, wouldn't you need to yourself know English? So it's the same. So in order to instruct, you have instruct on practice. One has to be practicing themselves. Just like if you want to explain English, how to speak English, one has to speak English. Geshe Rinpoche.
대양 초니의 라바송라 소베 장 샹주 란탄제 dümejes 신루기 고아제바 따르 네 düjü jenje 세다 메뉴베 신루라 düje셰바 조이노스 신루노를 샹주 셈비 란dü레 라바송노를 dü레 dü레데 신루노는 dü바나지 젠달 라바송노는 dü발라 소바도 그걸로 고아트나 제투아 갈레카브레 신루는 dü비수데 시리나 어디 아슈데스 어디 손데 사마르바 대야 초니다 라바송라 소베장 소나다 시투노라 니노레 샤주센비셔바 건 dü거와 라바송노는 dü거레데 신룬 dü어나지 네 젠다 라바송다 소니리 시 전나지 시도고 말레스 신루도 어디야
Ale. The Shanchu Sembi Lam Shinguna Shintru Da Yakshu the Donda Rinpoche? Gangi Sine.
소니는 düöre 라바송 düöre 신룬 düö레스
Aha.
신룬 dü바든 제시적인 야슈레스
Less. Okay, two chena. Okay. Although it is true that the entire Bodhisattva path is also consumed under other condensations, such as the 2 collections, the 3 trainings, ethical discipline, meditative concentration, and wisdom, and so forth, these are not able to produce the understanding that the 6 perfections do. So the 6 perfections are the best inclusive set. So here it's saying that there are other ways that you can find these things categorized in terms of the Bodhisattva path. You could look at. So I just was double checking. So once again, where we see 3 trainings and then we have parentheses, that is not in the Tibetan text either. Just as a translator's note, at times the translation committee adds commentary into the root text to explain what the words mean, but the explanation isn't in the Tibetan text. It would require for a Tibetan, a teacher, to explain it. So a lot of times there's additions, and the Tibetans never would put an addition to anything. Like when they translate from Sanskrit, they wouldn't put an addition. It's always literally translated and left alone. So just as an aside, so Rinpoche explains what the 3 higher trainings are. He just said they're ethical discipline, meditative concentration, and wisdom. And then also what the 2 collections are. So the 2 collections are referring to the collection of exalted wisdom and the collection of merit. So these collections, so it's saying that when we look at the Bodhisattva path itself, we could see the Bodhisattva path in its entirety within the 2 collections and the 3 highest higher trainings, but those do not produce the level of understanding that the 6 perfections do relative to the Bodhisattva path. So it's saying one can understand this by these other means, but these other means in no way make it as easy or as clear for the student to understand the Bodhisattva path. So the 2 collections, let me just make sure. Okay, so just in summary, when wanting to learn the Bodhisattva path and wanting to learn it from a subject that is all-inclusive, that's not missing anything, the best or easiest way, I don't want to say easy, but it's kind of inferred that it's like the easiest way to produce understanding would be through this understanding the 6 perfections. Not the only way to understand, but the easiest, the easiest way to understand it. Diso.
다 니바 세야지도 니바도 등고들 사지 송디송아 사비 제당 들하바는 뒤치 니바다 말베 들하바는 니바 들하바는 뒤치들라 뭐지 전 장내바다 샬라 고랭에바다 사지니
Yeah, less so.
어때 고랭에바다 바오스
Less so.
다음번에서 뭐지 전 장내바 신주 신바 추진 저바 전주 상대 싫어 전 주부대 장내바 템바다 샬라 고랭에바 템바스 네 신바 당 추진 저바 어떤데 고린데 간데스레서 어디 된다 용고버래
Less so.
다 동부 뭐지 전 장내바들도 존된데지 신주기 동정제발라스 존된데 샤자만의 보데 니시루고 동진바 추진 소바 전주 어디 동정 송요레스 동정 송바들은 저샤망고베 저서 담베 대단지비 주sen지 내나 나 공바진 제네 상지 공바나지 제네 제부조요레스 신주데 제네 내시 제바네 장내순 너나이 임베 네 공바진 제네 내시 제바네 장내순 너나 임베 드달라 이투비 네바니 나스 자샹베 신주를 디시들레 네 이투비 내시 니바이나 고아니바이나 신주기 냐렌라 다비 추도 제바 종웨 네바니바 샤오스 어디 자샹베 송바나지 어디 때네 데게는 어디 야부시바시 우르 송된사.
Okay, so now we go to number 2. It says B here, page 104. If we go back, remember there were 3 categories. What are the precepts? What the precepts are based upon. So we just went through that. Category number 2, how all the precepts are included in the 6 perfections. And then 3, the process of learning the perfections. So we now are at how all the precepts are included in the 6 perfections. And then there are 2 categories under that major heading. So the first category is a discussion of the main topic, the fixed number of perfections, and the second category, an ancillary discussion of the fixed order of the perfections. So these are the 2 categories under the main heading, and then we begin with the first category, which is a discussion of the main topic, the fixed number of perfections. So the meaning of the fixed number of perfections is that when we look at the various texts and so forth, we don't find a different number of perfections in terms of this presentation. So these 6 perfections are 6 for a specific reason. There aren't more or less of them. So that this particular section discusses why we know that the definite number is 6, and then the second category is how we know that the definite order is the order that they are presented in. So they are presented in the order of generosity, ethics, patience, effort, concentration, wisdom. So not only is it pointed out that there are a specific number of perfections, but it's also pointed out that the order of the perfections is done in a specific way. So these are the 2 points that will be made, and it begins with the discussion of the main topic, the fixed number of perfections. So it says, the Bhagavan formulated a bare outline of the 6 perfections, and the holy regent, Maitreya, again, not in the Tibetan, it just says the holy regent produced certain knowledge of these by explicating in accord with the Buddha's intended meaning of the key points of the rationale for formulating the perfections in that fashion. These explanations show that there are a fixed number of perfections, When you are convinced of this and astonished by it, you will understand the practice of the six perfections as the supreme instruction. So obtain such conviction. Rinpoche, Garishane Sansan Parshin Ju.
다 제대로 제대. 네, 상주 sembe 파신 라 파신 조, 파신 조, 파신 송, 라바송, 신주. 네. 파신 조 어떤 다 근데 제대 뒤나 제바제나 진지 어떤 데 임바래.
Ale, the Parshin Ju Jeba.
파신 뒤나 라바송. 델렌데 제네 신주. 델레 제바제나 파신 조.
I see.
이제 말배.
So I was just asking Rinpoche that so you see the 10 perfections at times, and Rinpoche said that if you were to look at the Buddhist teachings and you were to look at it in terms of how to understand them, you could say they're summarized in the most subtle fashion in the 3 highest higher trainings, and then you would say that then the next level medium kind of explanation would be the 6 perfections. And then the 10 perfections are merely just a more expanded explanation of the 6. So that's when you see the 10 perfections. It's not saying that the 6, when we look at this order as definite, it's definite specific to those 6 perfections. So just to make clarity, because you will hear 10 perfections, and that isn't invalidating that this section, that's a different topic altogether. Even though it's connected to the 6 perfections in that it's expansion of them, it's a different topic. So it's not another way of looking at the perfections. It's not an arguing way of looking at the perfections, saying, well, are there 10 or are there 6? That never comes into the argument because they're separate categories. One is just an expansion of the other. So it's just anytime I ask a question, I always translate the answer and what I asked. Okay, tu Chenmo Rinpoche. Less so. Less so. Less so. Less so.
돈이 또 쉐러라 소부터 말봐. 샤주 셈비 랑 돈이 또 쉐러데 네 최근도제 이제 소레스 이제 소이 주선 가르스나 네 최소 주권이 또 주글 라제 주제레스 최고도제 주도데 이제 소도 임바래. 이제 소라데네 사지기 최고도 소는 소라데네 수고 농고도 조금 좋은 거 말아. 소는 이제 레숑와
Okay, so in order to become a Buddha, it's necessary to have the 2 collections, the collection of exalted wisdom and the collection of merit. So the collection of merit is bodhicitta, great compassion, love through the force of attraction. These sorts of things are all categorically under the collection of merit. And just as an aside, that just so anyone's new, love through the force of attraction is like a magnet attraction. Like you have love for sentient beings, like a magnet is attracted to metal. It is an attraction in the other sense. So I just don't want to misuse words or confuse people with words. So the practices of love, the practices of compassion, these things all categorically fall under the collection of merit. And the collection of exalted wisdom is just that, wisdom, the understanding of emptiness, and so forth. So these 2 collections are necessary because they produce separate parts of the Buddha. So the collection of merit, which is compassion and so forth, and bodhicitta, produces the form body of the Buddha. So the form body has 2 categories, the Sambhogakaya and the Nirmanakaya, the enjoyment body and the emanation body. So the form body, which is the Robokaya, has these two, emanation body and enjoyment body. And it is the collection of merit that creates that part of the Buddha, or those parts of the Buddha. The collection of exalted wisdom creates the truth body of the Buddha. So the truth body being the two bodies of the nature truth body, Ngoni Chuko and the Ngoni Chuko Dang, the Chuku ni Ngoni Chuko Dang,
Zugu chuku ni soro.
Chuku Layana ni.
So nang tsula tene
That
zugu
this
ndru ngores
less-
lugu chuku ro.
lesser the Chuku Layana ni Gare.
Chuku le
Yeshige chuku dang. Okay, so the
na chen de gu den.
Tuche. Yeshe. So, and when we look at the two categories of truth body, we have the wisdom truth body and the nature truth body. So we have these two categories of truth body. So the the wisdom truth body is the yeshi.
Yeshe chuku na chen ro.
The wisdom truth body is the omniscience, and the nature truth body is the cessation of suffering. So these are the two truth bodies of the Buddha. So these parts make up a Buddha. So the emanation body, the enjoyment body, and then the wisdom body and the nature body. So the Dharmakaya is, and so the truth body and its two categories, and the form body and its two categories. So the truth body is created by the collection of, is created in dependence upon the collection of exalted wisdom, and the form body is created in dependence upon the collection of merit. So this is how the various bodies of the Buddha are created. So therefore, it's necessary to have both collections, because these bodies are the parts of the Buddha that make up the whole Buddha. So when we say emanation body and enjoyment body, these are all one Buddha who is able to emanate as all of these different things simultaneously. So these aren't possibilities; these are simultaneously abiding. So that's why it's called a non-abiding nirvana, as the translators note, because the Buddha is emanating in all of these different areas. So the truth body and the form body created in dependence upon the collection of exalted wisdom and collection of merit. And this is why it's necessary to have these collections in order to be a Buddha, because they create the parts of the Buddha that make for a whole Buddha. With any missing part, that being he or she is not a Buddha if any of the parts are missing. Diksung.
Watan roa ritu ka tsamalo ne sanji yak nipa yuwaris. Ne chuku tolungu tuyak nipa yuwaris.
So all
sanji jiri yuwaris.
Okay. So all beings in all six realms of cyclic existence have the ability to have these bodies. All beings in the six realms of samsara or cyclic existence can have a truth body and a form body, because all sentient beings in the six realms of cyclic existence have Buddha potential or Buddha nature, Buddha lineage.
What the sanji nipa karu nga senja samal iji sheba yoro, iji sheba. Iji sheba tele ne chu tanji shenyak nipa tang, driba tanji tag nipa yuwaris.
Lesso. So what is this potential? What is able, when we say Buddha potential, or Buddha, it's usually translated as Buddha nature, but that's a little bit misleading. It's more a Buddha potential we all have. That's a better translation. And what is this potential? It is the mental consciousness that we all possess. This mental consciousness has the ability to understand all phenomena, and also has the ability to get rid of all misdeeds. Therefore, the ability or potential for Buddhahood is there because these things can happen, because the mind can become omniscient, because the mind can get rid of all its negativities. All sentient beings have this ability. So that's why it said all sentient beings have Buddha nature or Buddha potential. So if we can think about this, it's very good. These are things to think about. Less so. Less so. Less so. Less so. So we have these 3 higher trainings. And just by name like this, 3 higher trainings, non-Buddhists have this in common as well. Non-Buddhists have ethics, concentration, and wisdom. The difference is, and the reason that we call these highest trainings the highest higher trainings, so as Buddhists sometimes you'll hear the highest higher training instead of just the 3 higher trainings. The reason for this is that first, the higher training in ethics, which is uncommon, so we can say there are 3 higher trainings that are common to Buddhists and non-Buddhists. Buddhists and non-Buddhists both have ethics, concentration, and wisdom. But what makes it a highest higher training, what separates the Buddhist training from non-Buddhist is that the higher training in ethics is coupled with renunciation. So this higher training in ethics has with it a desire to definitely get out or emerge. The higher training in concentration has as its object of observation emptiness, which is uncommon. Non-Buddhist traditions do not have this renunciation in the way that is explained in Buddhism, this desire to emerge from cyclic existence. Non-Buddhists don't have as their object of observation of their concentration emptiness. And when it comes to wisdom, this is the wisdom realizing emptiness, which is also uncommon. So these 3 things that qualify it as a Buddhist higher training make it so that we labeled it highest higher training because of the connections each of the trainings has to either renunciation or emptiness. So these are how we would explain the 3 higher trainings and and why we say highest higher trainings when we are talking about Buddhism. But you won't always see highest higher. It's inferred within it if it's talking about a Buddhist higher training. Diksun. Less so. So the non-Buddhist schools do have the ability to achieve clairvoyance. They have the ability to achieve the various levels of understanding and ability to create magical powers, but do not so they have the ability to achieve clairvoyance, have the ability to achieve these magical powers, but when in terms of renunciation, in terms of a desire to get out, we look at there are three different types of suffering: the suffering, the suffering of change, and pervasive compounded suffering. The non-Buddhist traditions have renunciation or desire to emerge from the suffering of suffering. They have a desire to emerge from the suffering of change. But the pervasive compounded suffering, which is a suffering which is being propelled again and again into the various realms of, including the form and formless realms, this pervasive compounded suffering and the desire to emerge from that and achieve liberation is not found in the renunciation of the non-Buddhist traditions. So their desire to get away from the sufferings, but there isn't this, at the suffering of suffering and suffering of change, there's more coarse sufferings, but the subtle suffering of this pervasive compounded suffering and the renunciation related to that is not found in the non-Buddhist tradition. Senzang? Less so?
Dodo jenle shindu de la ngoto la tu de changge bas ngoto la tu de shindu changge gres o den ma le do ngoto la tu ngoto sana la da me ko phon de la ngoto la gro da ne ngesu de ma ro la da me de so to yin so ngoto ke de la da me de la tu de shindu changge gres Lhata Malaya, Hindu Gugures, Lhata Malay Jimba Gugudua. Jimba Manda Lhata Malay Longsho Yungtu Marva. Longsho de Jimmy de Marva. Jimba. Lhata Malay Tsutin Gugure, Tsutin Mena, Lhata May Tenzan Tutu Marva. Jimmy Longsho Trinchi De. Tsutin La Ten Dendro, Lhata May Ten To. Then Jimba La Ten Lhata Longsho de Yungu Marva. Jimmy Longsho Trinchi De. And the Zubin down there. And you don't want to Zubin not the Zubin Gigi Zundugan Debo. Sunday, Louis, what the Sukan.
Less so. Then Rinpoche, the Senge Zampo, the Kabir.
What did not the Larisham do alone?
Ale, Shansa Dang.
Do the Jan shape to the Sizang shape to Jeremy on the water. Tananga do the Jan shape because to the Montella to be joined.
Okay. Dodogen Nguto Sutris, Nguto Senge Zampo.
De la true. Montella to be joined. De la true, Montella to be passing, Bail Tabe. Inshil Tajuro.
NGA.
De la true. Montella to be joined. Jangan Shanchu, Geshe Lharampa Nang. Zubala, Sero Batumabas and Dua.
The Drang Epa Drew Yure.
Drangabatu, Motul to be Jangatro, Motul to be Drangabatu.
Hladame.
Motul, Ladame, Tella Tude, Shindu Drangagres, Ladamalea, Shindu Gugres, Jimba Gugres, Jimba Gude, Lonshu Gubezer. And the Tudim Gude, Ladame. Don't you think what did you say to lead Marba?
Okay, then he did the dead school, the Gangasin and Lama Chu dead Lapson. Okay, so now we're a discussion of the. Okay, so let me just go back. I want to make sure. So what the precepts are based upon is the first category. And then the second category is how all the precepts are included in the six perfections. And then we have the two, the fixed number and then the fixed order. So these are the two. So we begin with the a discussion of the main topic, the fixed number of perfections. So Rinpoche said, I'd have to look through the Tibetan, but in here, in the Tibetan, he's saying that these points are made based on 358, based on the two texts of the one by Lord Maitreya. It says the Holy Lord Maitreya is Dodagen, which is the Mahayana Sutra Alamkara, the ornament for the Mahayana Sutras, and also a text which I think is called Freedom, Emergence, something of this nature by Senge Zampo. By Senge Zampo is Hari Hivajra? Haribhadra? Rebe. Senge Zampo is, I'm trying to think who Senge is. Haribhadra, no?
I think, yeah.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll check for everyone. So this is where the subject matter is coming from. These two, and so it says, the Bhagavan formulated a bare outline of the 6 perfections. I'm just rereading this. And the Holy Regent Maitreya produced certain knowledge of these by explicating in accord with the Buddha's intended meaning the key points of the rationale for formulating the perfections in that fashion. These explanations show that there is a fixed number of perfections. When you are convinced of this and astonished by it, you will understand the practice of the 6th perfection as the supreme instruction, so obtain such conviction. The discussion of the main topic, the fixed number of perfections, has 6 parts. Here it's saying that there are 6 different categories. The fixed number of perfections based on high status. So here, in order for one to achieve high status in the gods and the humans, and to have various qualities while abiding there, it's necessary to practice the 6 perfections. It's not only necessary in order to achieve the complete Buddhahood, it's necessary in order to achieve the higher realms. And we see in Nagarjuna's chapter, I think it's on high status and definite goodness, in the Precious Garland, where it explains how all of these things are connected. So it says through giving, so it begins with generosity. It says through generosity, one will have enjoyments. So Jimbi Long Shu. So through generosity, one will have enjoyments, things to use and so forth. Then it says through ethics, one will have happiness. So through ethical behavior, one will have happiness. And then it says from patience, one will have beauty, or will be beautiful. And through effort, one will have presence, or will have charisma. Sometimes it's translated as charisma. Through effort, the perfection of effort. So we're talking about the 6 perfections. So through effort, one will have presence, or will have charisma. Through concentration, one will have peace of mind, and through wisdom, one will be able to be liberated. One will be able to quickly be able to understand how to be liberated. I'm trying to find the exact quote. That's it. It may break if I find it. I can tell you exactly where it is in this text. Okay, need something to some shit.
Da ngotsu la tibi changa, ngotsu la da mei ten tila ngotsu la dhirwa, ngobo toa. Nesung ki ten la toa yin tang ngobo toa, ngotos, ngotsu la dhirwa, da ngotsu marwe. Ngotsu wate la da mei ten, Meta tang asu kanga tungu ro, masakan asu kanga tungu duwa. Sasakan yue maris tizuna.
So when we speak of this high status, and we can see humans in terms of what we can actually believe. As far as gods, this isn't something that we can necessarily see. So, are there gods? Aren't there gods? This is something that would be interesting to ask of a scientist, if they could give us a definite answer. Ask the scientific community if there are these higher beings or not. So in Buddhism, there are many, many different kinds of gods. So there are gods that are bound to the desire realm. There are gods in the other realms. There are, we would also say, Buddha gods, and not to be confused with the word God that we normally would connect to. So Buddha gods. So a lot of times, just as a translator's note, when you see the deities in all of their splendor with the four arms or etc., that would be considered a Buddha god, a manifestation. Sometimes someone consider that a Buddha god. So just to give you an example. The understand war. Hakoson the Lama Yendan La Zinja. So they say that there are gods that are constantly fighting wars, and that some fall from their realms and end up in the Sok Dang, the river Dang Gare, in the mountains in our rivers. So that we have, it says in text that there are gods that are in the mountains and then in our rivers that have somehow, this is not my area of expertise at all, have somehow fallen because of this war, and they're in our realm now. The konso zinja, dene konso ngatsu zambaling. Lesso. Okay, the data lasso. Okay, I said it right. Yeah. So there are, though, some signs that we can show. For instance, the Nejung Oracle we have as an example. If we were to say, okay, has anyone ever seen a god? Can we give an example of how it's provable now in modern day? We can look to perhaps the Nejung Oracle. Anyone who doesn't know what this is, just quickly, there's a human. He's in India now, I believe, or was, and he takes on the Nejung deity, enters him, and then the Nejung deity actually speaks through him. He speaks in this very strange language, makes very strange mannerisms. If anybody's seen the movie Kundun by Scorsese, that part where the gentleman is yelling and has the big head ornament on, that's the Nejung Oracle. So basically a ritual takes place. This deity Nejung, who is one of the protectors of the Tibetan government, comes into this body, and then all kinds of advice is given. And just as a translator's, Rinpoche has said all this, as a translator's note, this is how the Dalai Lama got out of Tibet. The Nejung Oracle gave him the map out. And there's many examples like that. There's an interpreter, because the Neijing oracle doesn't speak in normal language. There's an interpreter that interprets it somehow. Again, not an area of my expertise. And this is how the Dalai Lama asks him if he has some important questions he's not sure of, he will ask. So Rinpoche is saying that this is a possible sign. He's not stating it as 100% fact. He's saying that if we're looking for what is a sign of proof, this is one such sign. Gods have a great amount of ability. So for the Dalai Lama, Rinpoche is just reiterating, the Dalai Lama to get to Norbalinka, to leave Tibet and to be able to know how to get out safely, was astonishing to see that the Neijing oracle is the one who drew this map, and the stories you hear, that they were right next to the Chinese army at times, and they got out safely. So here's an example we can use.
Zubala, Siropado Meba, Jugulaza, Shanchu Sheba Lobiche, Sacho Langa, what to Zubala, and Siro Mamule, Jean Gurumadu, Siro Jin Tutua Yomares, Shanchu Sembe Sheba Lobiche, Yonso Zubala, Sanji Gobon to be Sheba Lobiche, so not a Jig to Lobiche Zubala, Siropado Meba. Ne Joa Mamul ne Lujon Jean Gurumadu, Sirachil Dutua Mares.
The Rinpoche, the Ewa Druk Kanga Lama song.
Drugunan Dambatri that.
The Tambo. Ale, the NGK, okay. Gogel Mepachik.
Drugunan Dambatri, Shanju.
Okay.
Shanju Sheba Labu Chewa Na, Zubala, Siropado Meba Jugubes.
Okay, Gongel
Jugulasa.
That's so.
Jimba Sudin Zoba Tundula Submission, Shantu Sheba Labache Zubala, Siro Mamul Lujonche Ures, Mato, Siro Jin Yuntua Yomares, Jugulas, Dean Laje, and Sachu Wala, Lang Sachu Muntu Bilan, so not that he took Sachu Wala, then Tenny Sawa, then Tenny Yunsu, Zubarilla. Remember that the end of our Chatatan, Yube, Drujan, Pujian, Matembe. Then Chatanjine, Ponson Sobashi goes was what about Tambo the Rendu Tambo. Shanju Sheba Zobala, and then Hadame, then Ponson Soba. Google said, they are Serabat member, Serajil Tumar, Nil Tumare, Serabat member, Lujonji Gures, Shajaman the Buddha, Keba Draman Sun to Saba Marbe. Then I young as well as the Jugula, they are large Sachu Wala, then Tenny, Yonso, Zuba remember. Tata Nasu May Lieutenant Tanik Tula, and what the Shanchu Sembi Shoba Lobach do to Ayomares. So Yebe, Drujan, Pujian Matumba, never tongue Marisita, Pacha de Jan Romatu. Then Chatanjin and Ponson Soba, she goes also whatever Tambo de Tombo.
Okay. Less so. Okay, so the way the Tibetan reads is the one, then it explains it two. There isn't a body of divisions. So I said, why didn't you read all the other divisions? And it's not written that way in the Tibetan. So we'll just do it one by one. So the discussion of the main topic. So there's a main topic, and then there's the ancillary topic. The main topic is the fixed number of perfections. And then as an ancillary discussion, we have the aside of the order. So the actual number is the first main topic, and the aside is the order. And I believe, I will check, but I believe that it is the Maitreya's explanation of the main topic we find explained by Lord Maitreya, but I'll check into that. So the first category is the fixed number of perfections based on high status. So fixed number of perfections based on high status. To fully complete the greatly effective bodhisattva deeds, you need an immeasurably long succession of lifetimes. Moreover, to attain quick success on the path within these lifetimes, you need a life excellent in every aspect. Our present life is not excellent in every aspect, but rather has only some of the aspects of full excellence. We do not make progress with it, though we practice the teachings. And then it goes on to say the kind of life needed. So here it says, to fully complete the greatly effective bodhisattva deeds. So in order to go through all of the various necessities, the bodhisattva has to achieve, if we look at what Lord Buddha had to do, Lord Buddha achieved bodhicitta and then created merit for 3 countless eons in order to become enlightened. One has to go through all of the 5 paths, path of accumulation, path of preparation, path of seeing, path of meditation, and path of no more learning. One has to go through the 10 bodhisattva grounds. So all of these things are necessary to become a Buddha. And it says you need an immeasurably long succession of lifetimes. So it's just showing that you need an extremely long amount of time to be able to do this. This isn't something that just happens easily without any kind of study quickly. And it says, moreover, to attain quick success on the path within these lifetimes, you need a life excellent in every aspect. So it's saying that the present life isn't excellent in every aspect, but we have these imprints that allow us to practice as much as we can and make progress in this lifetime, so that we will at some point have all of this, the excellences, all of the qualities of excellence. So even though we don't have them all now, we gradually will. So we need to practice now in order to have that. Rinpoche, Jutsu Judan Karma Drutle. Okay, so we'll take a short break, and we will be right back. And then before. Okay, dude. Des G, Ewa G, Yongre.
Quand la chebe longe dans ce tamboje, quand que chebe tenje, nebaje, quand dans tenje do, chebe koje, dujaje, les tanan tamba na.
Okay.
Rubi ju penson soba de penson soba jit johnson na sanji ko bon to neba yongre son desare.
Okay. So then it says you need a life that has 4 kinds of excellence. So we're going back to, it said that our life has only aspects of excellence. We need a life that has all of it. So now it's going to say you need a life that has 4 kinds of excellence. First, resources to use, the result of the perfection of generosity. Number 2, a body with which you act. The result of the perfection of ethical discipline. Number 3, companions together with whom you act, the result of the perfection of patience. Number 4, work that you are able to accomplish once undertaken, the result of the perfection of joyous perseverance. Okay.
Kosa that Sudune to Mamariba.
Less so.
Kodan, Lady Tan Zamba Na, Ruby Pensun Soba. What the jet the Pensun Soba Yuma in and Sanju Monto Pentu Chibi Yungu, no inside.
So these will all be beneficial for one becoming a Buddha. So all of these serve as this basis for becoming a Buddha.
Tada Tejibu the Pensun Soba Zanji Jan, Numo be gentle, Loa Moyus, no Kojo Le Longe. What does jet the Pensun Soba Zanji? And Sanji go to be Julin to be never your mares, Kuala Queen Jundu Amabuares. Tada Pensun Soba Zanji Jan, Numo be gentle, Numoja Julin Rosivares, Numo be gentle, Roa Moyu. They are Numojo on the Monroa, thus Numobo on the Monroa, Chich Deba Maruba than the Santa, Nanju Sambata, Santa, what the good Sunday said. Numojo on the Monroa down, Ne Tejan, Machube, Lando Jene Nala, Shinjimaluba Jujin, Dubi, Me Lever, Jibashi good. Lanja to Galo, Shiro, Chibashine, Yabajing and Gures, me Lebashawa. The Yabajing Asuna me Lebashawa. Then the Dema Chube, Lando Genena, Lanja Toja, and the Magiju to Ponja, Goaju the Lanja, Lando Genena La, Shinji Maluba, Jujin, and the Dubis, Mago Jule Dubi, the Me labor Shibaji Gusos Mago Ponja in but the Goaju Lanja in but the Yabaji Shibaji Woodes, she good there. Jen Dona, Jimbatan, Chushin Dan, Jen Hematan, Chushin Rangi, Drebu Chabatan, Drumo, Drumbes, Labatar. Pensu Deniji, Laba, Jushirosa, Example Jagono, Jendona, and Mima the Chushin and to banana mariba, banana tree. And then Mima Dangazu de Nolu Yuhu can see your road, Mima lo danger, and then Yum Babaja Yoma. And the Chushin banana tree. Rangan Debu Chaba na, Rangan Debu Chaba na, True me, Trube, Labataras, True in the Tata True Niroti,
Kon Shigadu.
Tabugo,
Hakusan.
Tabugo, the what the Pongudan, Tani Tribu del Trilo, Trade Buguchumata, the Buguchaba, the Lanzo Bugushin.
Ale, the Dakpar.
True me, Trumbe, Labatas, True me, Trumbe, the Buguchaba, you know, True no rule, Bugud, Lara Shenwoman,
Ale.
Labatar,
Ale.
Hanson Soba Teniji,
Ale.
Laban Jews, Call Longe Penso Yoba in and you some by Majuna, and the Susul Nogur has something that you Shiro.
Okay.
Shiro Yona Hachi, Zombie, Leji, Devishin, Shiro Yona, Le Penson Soba, Longe Penson Soba, Copenson Soba, what to Tamalo, John Hami Gil Debi, but Shine, Zombie Leji, Debu Shine, Layan, Jutanam, La, Bede, Chipet Rolasa. Shiro Yakin, you know what there. Le Penson Soba, Longe Penson Soba, 10 Penson Soba to Galo, John Hama Gay Rebore, Tanda and Azo what the Gay Judu San, Judu Rez, Se Laza Saduna Mepe, Shemala, Dugay Gutumba, Jurosa Sadu Mepe, Shemala, and Shemal Dungajigus, Joshimala. Dugay Gutumba Juros. Good Tombasana, Doyen, Doyen Marva, magawal dunga jor ngo tsungro dan tsongbaro da sado mebi shimala dunga ngo tsongbar joros wadabani badre
Jiro. Okay. So we have
단도 배 자체부 두었던 아
Shira mumble last one.
le dans l'enjeu dans l'enjeu le dans ane kanza dans ko o de jendo je
Je.
de ane l'enjeu que je de carré l'enjeu be ten que je carré ane kan ko ge ten je carré o de de je de jen 자지 당고 raison de ah 대제부터 쭉 간라되는 종화です.
Jimba.
롱쉐드가 주쇼. 네. 롱쉐비 르댕기 주쇼. 간던 루비 코기 주쇼. 어때 제드가 제부르게 주쇼서 된사데.
Okay.
칼레주 칼레.
Zenju.
내가 쳐보도다.
The Lonshu, Jimba, Loden, Suchim.
다 롱쉐가 주쇼서나 젬비 롱쉐스.
That's so true.
당아도 젬바레스 로카지로와.
Okay. So this part's very important, Rinpoche is saying. So going back, you need a life of the four kinds of excellence. And it's important because it shows how these connections are. Again, these parentheses. Hold on, let me see.
롱쉐 danse, 롱쉐 주쇼서 젬바 주.
Selbodu Rinpoche, that's go. The NGK, then Puig, June, Yuna Mena, the that's go. Klachi. Okay, so so Rinpoche was showing the importance, again, these parentheses we don't have in the Tibetan, again, so that's a whole teaching right there. So we said resources are connected to generosity. So when we have that quote from Nagarjuna's text that says, from generosity comes the enjoyments, from ethics comes happiness, etc., from the Precious Garland text, we see it here explained, and Rinpoche is explaining it. So we have the resources that are the result of the perfection of generosity. A body which you can act with, it's a result of the perfection of ethical discipline. Companions together with whom you act, the result of the perfection of patience. And work which you are able to accomplish once undertaken, which becomes the result of the effort. So it says, since in many cases those four kinds of excellence alone may themselves become conditions for afflictions, you must not fall under the control of the afflictions, the result of meditative stabilization. As just the four kinds of excellence are not sufficient, you must also distinguish well in regard to what to adopt and what to cast aside, precisely what things to do and stop doing, the result of the perfection of wisdom. So in order to know what to do, what to not do, how to view things, you need the perfection of wisdom. You need this intelligence, this study. Otherwise, just as a bamboo or plantain tree dies after giving fruit, or a mule dies with pregnancy, you will be destroyed by the four excellences. You will be destroyed by the four excellences. Hold on one second. I don't know if that reads proper. Bamboo. Rinpoche, the bu, the dondagare, the banana tree, then the jawagare, Rinpoche. Gangen sene the injike ken sapodu. Banana sheen, the shintu yon, the shigdu. 359, 358. The Shintu. Chushin Rangi Drepu. No. The banana tree, the lit tree.
jen to na mema dan chu mema chushin mema sana wote marbe nga so nyoma se ate na lu tomba yin yoro chushin se banana tree re
Okay.
rangi ndebo chaba dan tu me laba dar ne phasung so ba tini ji laba ju shiro sa mema koron da garjo kore koron meba zunde ko segmenwa chusin da ndebe ji dan dan chanro da tu amal bojen tugulam bogshin res
Lesso.
laba tar se example phasung so ba tini je laba ju yuse ne le longche phasung so ba je ba what to ngalo nganyu sambe semba ta saje go bo to juzo ma to ba ina and what the la no resin son things
Otherwise, just
to amai bogo no bogo je ba na ji pema to ba de res
then the Jimena bamboo dandrar. The Jimena.
de nganyu sambe semba juzo pen to je ba yung ro nganyu sambe ma ji na what the 가서 그래. 등에제 줄로 그래서 다.
Okay, so it's saying.
방송소 tanji 녀모비 젠도 코 방송소 롱셔 방송소 단데 조나 근데 너차 제약 줄로 너차도 공도도 단데 제약 줄로네 녀모비 젠도
Ale.
마유스 대제부터 녀모고 줄로 몸도세 녀모고 줄로 만도 제 그래서 나 주고 삼비신 봐도 돈이 고야다. 어쩌나 주 생고하던 제 그래서
So it's saying that these four excellences, if you don't know what to adopt and what to cast aside, you can be destroyed by it. So it's connected to this as just the four kinds of excellence are not sufficient. You must also distinguish well in regard to what to adopt and what to cast aside, precisely what things to do and stop doing. Otherwise, just as a bamboo or a plantain tree dies after giving fruit, or a mule dies with pregnancy, you will be destroyed by the four excellences. So if you don't know what to adopt and what to cast aside, these things will destroy you. So it's necessary to have that wisdom accompanied, because it also says up here, since in many cases the four kinds of excellence alone may themselves become conditions for afflictions. So that's what the top bar says, just to remind, because I was just reading it as that one sentence alone, and it didn't make any sense to me. But when you compare it and see that the four kinds of excellences, you really need to have all of these, and know what to cast aside, what to take on, in order to practice these, or they actually become hindrances. They actually become fuel for the afflictions if they aren't practiced in total. In total. Okay. Ngay sampa selpo lason dine the kabar kasa.
대전 란도지 란도지
one more.
내나 신지 말로바 조지 그와죠 란자단 먹주 본자 임바도 신지 말로바 아버지 내바제 오레스 조지 두비 미 레버 셰바시 고데스 더 마셰바이나 젠도나 메마도 주신진도 메마도 주신나진 제번 메바 차는 거데스 주신라긴데보 차바다스 주신다 바네나 말베 근데베 차바다 주메 라바더 주 단다버지로 더 보지스나 그 주고는 신도 거다 더나지 방송 소바 되니지 라반주시 방송 소바 집에 란
Matsu-se.
페마도 차는 거래서
Pematopa. Okay, so then Rinpoche is saying the way you could read this is that these four excellence will provide no benefit. You know, that instead of reading it as destroyed, he's saying that If you don't have this what to adopt and what to cast aside, then these four excellences will be of no use for you. They will be of no benefit. And then Rinpoche,
Shiro yoba ina san duzu na waris. Shiro yoba ina san duzu kangla longsho be longsho yoare, longsho de jukarares. Longsho yona, ngaji zombi, longsho de ngaji zombi gi ndebi yinba. Ndebi yinba she ne, njibote gi ndebi yinba she ne, hlayang, ane gawa mabu sa waris, bede, jipe dunrula sa. Shiro yona, ane wate, ane ko lu longsho pensung suba ji, jude langsan pe waris, ne gawa mabu sa na. Jipe dunrula sa. Shiro mena, nga sa jin drebu la, longsho bin si, nga sabi gi drebu dundagre, sado, ane gawa mape na, ane shima la dunga je yage,
Lesso,
go tongres.
Tuche, Seldo.
Yeah.
The wise understand how these six, the four excellences, control of the afflictions, and knowledge of what to adopt and what to cast aside, are the results of earlier virtuous actions, and they strive again at steadily increasing their causes. The unwise use the results of their earlier accumulations of virtue and exhaust them. As they do not increase them anew, they reach the brink of their future suffering. So basically, those who are wise accumulate more virtue, new virtue. They look at, okay, I have enjoyments now. What is the cause of these enjoyments that I have? The cause of the enjoyments that I have currently is generosity. So if I want enjoyments in the future, I need to engage in generosity. The current basis I have is caused by ethics. The happiness and the basis I have is caused by ethics. If I want happiness, then I need ethics. So this increases your virtue more and more because it gives you it makes you want to practice based on knowing what the results of these good activities are. So you know what to do. So someone who is wise practices in this way and increases their virtue by accumulating new virtue. The unwise just relax, enjoy their state, and enjoy it up to the point of their future suffering. So basically it's saying that they relax and enjoy themselves up to the day that they can no longer, and then suffering occurs. So it's saying that the unwise use the results of their earlier accumulations of virtue, so their current basis, their current enjoyments, the things that they have, and then just enjoy them, and they don't increase anything new, so they're just heading right to the point when their last day of that enjoyment is and their suffering starts. Okay, Diksung Rinpoche.
Longsho pensung soba, ten pensung soba, ko pensung soba, jibade, shiro yuna, te jawa ngami driba yinba shen de gres. Jawa ngami driba yinba shen ne, layang, gawa mo sa yung gres.
So if someone is wise, they'll see that all of these things, this resources and body and companions and the work, all of these things that one is able to do is a result of something, is a result of, in these cases, is a result of generosity, is a result of ethical discipline, is a result of patience, is a result of effort. When the wise see this, then he or she will want to create more, will be inclined to engage in more of those things, and then become much more virtuous. So that's the point. Let's see. Okay,
Shiro mena,
Lesso.
Shiro mena o den debu longsho ben debu zunu gres.
Lesso. Lesso. So Rinpoche is saying, those who are not wise, those who do not have wisdom, Sherap Mena, if you don't have wisdom, you will use up your resources and use up your opportunity, which is the fact that you have this basis and have these resources, and just use it up until it is no more. The karma is no longer there to produce it. And then the next step is the negative karma, because there's not a new propel, nothing to throw, nothing new to throw one into a positive state again. There's no propelling force of goodness. So all of these good things that we have are a result of our previous lives' actions causing a result. So our previous life's actions cause a result, and then we experience these things that we have now. So this is all because of what we did before. So these four things, these four kinds of excellence, a Christian person wouldn't say are created the way we do. It would say that God made all of these things. So this is what we how we understand it. Okay, so that completes number 2.
Jesu tumbi juyang shindu du ngebe tsende shindu gundo ten kun le mo do shade jula chetan cheshuba tezang do debula cheshuba ju shiros somba do derendo.
So Sumba Rinpoche? The ngatsu the nipa la ena ni the tambo. Let's go. The nipa la ena ni tambo la ena dru.
Nipa la
The ngatsu
ba ta shala ko ba ode do saro. De la dru le se mo to la tubi tang dru de ro ta.
Then they drew ngatsu tambo tsar.
Motola tubi tanga dro tambo tsa ni ba te yang kan la long shebe je dro kan la long shebe dan kan gi shebe ten le dan kan dan le je dru ko je tene ta kan zang ba dru bi phang su ba je dro je de je den je go so ten phang su ba zang je nyomo bi julun roa mamores maayu te nyomo jo adu roa te jang ma chu be lando jinana shinji malu bar jojin dubi mi le ba shiba shi gudes gawaju lanja yamba mago moja yamba tu ngol taji abjin yabu ngaba jugures jen dona hima dan chushin rangin de chaba dan drume laba der phansu taje laba ju
Rinpoche, the page cover, you covered.
de tage dere de dana ndosa den maro den tombi ba somba ni ba khondro ni ba
Nipa the inji the deta ne samtin.
ni ba la ni mo ji den tanga ba dan shala ko ringa bas tombi ne Junden de shindu don zebe jeso tambe senzebi jutenji nena gomba jindu tene ngashe jeba na tranga zundala dana yembe dadala yitubi ngaba nyena shindu gnyane la dambi chudo jaban jonyu ngaba nyeba shaos dala trusita ngodola dubi tranga dro ngodola dubi tranga truji tombo ngodola dubi tranga bane shanchu shimbi shobala bachana zubala tsaro bado meba jugulas teyan lanchi sacho unwa la ten pensun soba jugures sobare meba dati ten dendawa Rezang la, Rezang Yuebi, Ru Jiang,
Are we?
Bu Jiang Mutunbi, Den Tangji Pensung Soba Chugures, what about the Tombadro? Ta Niba Denima Longshu de Jetro.
Yine ngatsu jetsun shamba long. Ngatsu dama son.
Nudu Jen Le Sheba, Senzang Sheba Nidro, Nudu Jen. Tama Rota.
58. Deyang, Desko, Sar, Shira Mepa, Sar, bring the futures. Okay, Shira Puna, Desko.
Nudula Tubi Jangadala Choro Chu. Tombad Saji.
The Sheriff Yuna Mena, then when you again produce these 6, okay, Sheriff Mena, the Rinpoche, the Sardu, ne me pepe, the
Sheriff Mena,
Shima.
Hasa Jindebu Yimbala, Longshu bin Sheriff Mena, Hasa Begola Longshu, Debut Zunagres, Satun Satu Martin, Dugay.
Lesso, then De Ngatsu Lesso. De Ngatsu Lepson.
Tana, what the Niba Tandre.
Ale, the NGK, the Tambo.
Somba Denas, Tambo Marite.
Are they? Okay.
Jajiba, the Niba.
Ale, the Nipa, the NGK, the Gutsogudu. Kakare, that's 359. Nipa, the Detar, Dende.
Niba, Teon, Kala Longshu, Pensun Soba Jet, Niba.
Okay. Okay, there's
Teon
just a
Kala
little
Longshu,
difference.
but Kanki Longshu, Ten, Jiro. Jito, the Niba, Janjibe.
Okay, so it's saying that number 2 starts when you again produce these. Okay, the Inji, the truce, the Sache true. When you. Okay. Sure. Sardu, the Nipa Gutso. Sardu.
Pensun Soba Jendo, Longshu Pensun Soba, Ten Pensun Soba, Ko Pensun Soba Jendo.
Lesso.
What the Niba?
Sardu, the Nipa Gutso, Sardu ne me pepe. Puyik, the Nipa Gutso.
Niba Teon Kala Longshu, Niba Teon is the Mare.
Deyang.
Teon Kala Longshu dans the Jet the Jignan Tambotro.
Deyang Kabiari, Rinpoche. Gonga Mebichi, Yene, Nge Samba Ngatsu de Leson. Rinpoche, Ngatsu de Lebson. De Lebson. Ngatsu.
Local data.
De Ngatsu. That's where we are. The Shera Yuna Mena. I think we just went to the wrong page in the different book. Rinpoche. The Yomari. This are. This. Napchu Ngache. Deyang. Okay, 358.
Longshu ba the Jetro, Je. Kala Longshu ba, Longshu bi Ten, Longshu bi Kur. Then Tama Jindo, Pensun Soba Jus Jetro, Pensu Jenet, Nibare.
Okay, Deyang. Shupi Longshu Dangangi. Dixar Rinpoche. Kanga. Tsar. Then Sherab Mena. Ngar Sagi Ditsar.
The Tano, then Sadun Mapis, or the Niba Dundro. Tasumba Teresumba Tena. Joa Gento, Joa Gento, Tedron Juayan. Jumedan, Mutumi Julia Majonsis. Joa Gento Tena, Jusen Tisher. Joa Shama Penchilla. Shindu Yumala, and the Jumabali Yumari, Jugogres.
Lesso.
Jugogre, Timby Jul Jigamado, Matthew Jul Jigamares. Babalo Jigamado, Bajul Babalo Jigamado, Jutumbal Jigures.
Okay.
What the Jutumba? What the
This, okay. Lesso.
Then Jawa Jendo, Shindu Juan, Jawa Jendo, 6 purposes Yumala. And the Jula Tugre, Jumabali Yumares, Jumetan. Matthew Jul Jigamares. Buffalo Baju Jigmaro, then I Timby Jule, Buffalo Jigrova, Timby Jul Jigres, Timby Jule, Jongshin, Jesu Timby, Juan, Shindu to Napes, Shindu Kuru Shindu Jula Tene, Joama Shindu Jula Tene, Joashama Shindu Yungures, Shindu Yungures, Timby Jula Tene Yungures,
That's so.
Nabe, send the Shindu Gundo, then Gun Lamodo Shade, Shidul Comba Mombigures, Jula Chezan Cheshuba, Tezando, Nebula Cheshuba, Jushuros, Judy Shidagi Aberesuna, and Represons of Yungres.
That's so.
You have been the represents of Yumares. What
Lesso.
about the Sombatare?
Lesso. Okay, so this is related to number 3, which is the. I'm not 100% sure why it's related to number 3, to be honest, but I'm just translating. So anyway, when you again produce these 6 in future lives, their production will not be causeless or from discordant causes, but rather from concordant causes that are the perfections, fixed as 6 in number. Therefore, in this lifetime, you must repeatedly habituate yourself to constant reliance on the 6 perfections, because the superiority of the effects is commensurate to the superiority of the causes. A life with the 4 excellences constitutes temporary high status, whereas the ultimate high status, which consists of ultimate excellence of body, etc., exists at the Buddha level. And then there's a quote, thus the ornament for the Mahayana Sutras says. So we find all these quotes from the ornament for Mahayana Sutras. And then I found also, if you find at the end here, it says that these other assertions about the non-main topics were presented by Haribhadra in his long explanation of the Perfection of Wisdom Sutra in 8,000 lines. So that's just from before, when we said those 2 categories. That was the Haribhadra text. But this is focused on the Dodagen, the Maitreya's ornament for clear realization. So if, in order to have the 6 perfections practice in your life now, you have to have had a previous practice or familiarity with it. And that's why it's saying that it's so important to have this practice in this lifetime, because causes and results are concordant. Results are concordant with their causes. So wisdom produces wisdom. 6 perfections produce 6 perfections. So this insight is not produced from nothing. It's from constant habituation with it, with familiarization, habituation, which is gom. And it says that if you have excellent causes, you will have an excellent result. If you have weak causes, you will have a weak result. So here it's showing how the ultimate high status is Buddhahood. These temporary high statuses can be created in this way, but your results will be dependent upon the potency of your causes. So that's the meaning of that. Rinpoche, ngatsu karma nga yure dene de.
What the Shindu de, and the Tanjebe Dali Chavaris, Mutubi Jul Jibama, Dali my Jelime,
Daje.
and Jele Chiva de, Rajuba Meshimarba, Jele Java.
Ranju,
Dali
Jen.
my Jelime, Nile, Nikale Java, the Chibuba Marba, Chibuba.
Jibopa Su.
Chibu Maramba Jindu Chuji.
Oh, okay, Tuche, Jane.
Jero.
Lesso.
Naya.
So the reason that we have all of these negations is we're negating the way that thing could arise in a way other than we're saying through dependent origination. So according to the ancient school called the enumerators, the Samkhya school, they say that things arise from themselves, that the result is in the cause. So that's the Samkhya school's view, which most of yoga traditions follow the Samkhya view, or many yoga traditions follow the Samkhya view. The idea that things are created from other are used to negate the middle way autonomy school within Buddhism, the Ranjupi, the Zhen La Jewa Ranju, to negate the autonomy school's view that things are created from other. Also, then we also, the third, the Jain tradition states that things are created by both, created by self and other, a combination of self and other, and this is how they are, this is how they arise. So, meaning like, how do they abide? How do they exist? So is there a substantially existent self, other, both? And then the last, so that's to negate the Jain's view. And then the last is those who say they arise from nothing. And that's to get rid of the nihilist view. So there are these four ways things could arise other than through dependent origination, through self, through other, combination of both, or causeless. And all of these are negated by the correct view of emptiness. Okay, Dutsa. And then also, when we were to say that God created it, it wouldn't be concordant with the result. If we say God created this perfect being created these things. Buddhists say that things come from concordant things. Our practice of the six perfections now comes from practice of the six perfections.
Example, mango tree,
Less so. The same. A mango tree produces mango fruit. It doesn't produce a different kind of fruit. This is what you need to think about. And that's it. So we'll do the concluding mandala offering dedication prayer. Thank you, everyone. And then I will have to cruise out of here. We'll bring Rinpoche down. How am I going to do this? Can we do this thing like real before Rinpoche goes? We always do. Before Rinpoche goes, we'll record, okay? Okay, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. I'm going to go make tacos. I do, it's true. Last 2 pages of the book. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drapa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denunang.